Hello my yoga friends. Welcome to today's class with me, Emily. Today is going to be a shorter class. We're going to be focused on opening our hips. So I invite you to grab a couple blocks if you have them and join me on your mat. Let's begin class in a butterfly position. We're going to walk the meat away from our sits bones and bring the bottoms of our feet to meet. If we have our blocks, or if you have a couple pillows or anything you want to put up, rolled up blankets underneath your knees for some support. Depending on where you're at today in your practice, you may need something. If not, we can go without. So as always, I invite you to check in with your body, see where you're at today, and go from there. So grounding through our sits bones, allowing our knees to fall open. Let's reach the crown of our head towards the ceiling and open through the chest. Draw your navel to your spine, lift up through the pelvic floor, feeling engaged and strong here. Bringing awareness to our breath, inhaling. We're going to be filling up our belly like a balloon and filling our rib cage like an umbrella opening up, just really lifting through the upper body. Lengthening through the crown and exhale, keeping the lift. When we exhale, we don't want to release and deflate everything and round through the spine. Just stay strong. You can have your eyes closed, or you can gaze off the tip of your nose and find a drishti, or a soft gaze. As you're breathing, I invite you to take this time to set an intention for yourself. Set your intention for the class, for the day, the week. Whatever you feel called to do for yourself. Continuing to breathe. On our next inhale, we're going to extend the left leg. Draw the inner right foot to the inner groin area. Another option is to leave it out further. Also, having the block underneath your knee if you need here. Checking in. Walking onto your sits bones, lengthening through the crown of the head. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, face the left toes. Reach forward and hinge at that left hip joint. You can have a good bend in your left knee or keeping it straight. Walk your shoulders down away from your ears. We can stay here as an option, or we're going to take a variation. Walk your left hand to the inside of that left foot and take your right hand and open to the right side of the room, to the ceiling. Take your gaze with your fingertips. Being mindful of your hips here. Keeping both hips planted on the earth. And then releasing your hands. Walk yourself back up. Extend through the right leg. And walk the left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Straighten to the crown and inhale, arms up. Pivot to the right, facing that right toe and hinge at the right hip joint, reaching. Bending the right knee if we need in our practice today. want to go for that twist. Walk the right hand on the inside of the right foot and open the left arm to the sky. Gaze over those left fingertips. And just feeling any sensations in your body, noting where you're at today, how this feels for you. If it doesn't feel good, I invite you to go back to the original variation or take a pose that you feel more called to practice. And then inhaling, arms to the sky. Exhale, extend the left foot forward. Reach your fingers high, lengthen through the crown. Walk your shoulders down away from your spine. We can stay here, or another option is we're going to hinge forward for a seated wide leg forward fold. Here's a great place to have a block. Reaching for that block out away from us. Walk your shoulders down away. We can have a bend in our knees if we like. Coming back to our breath. Bringing awareness to the sensations in our body. Beautiful. We're going to gently press ourselves up. Walk ourselves up to a seated position. You can move your block out to the side. Bring your legs together. Bring them underneath you and come into a tabletop position. Take a moment here to work through anything that you feel needs some movement. Roll through your hips, your shoulders, your knees. Flex your toes, roll your ankles. You can alternate coming onto your wrists. Just taking a few breaths and some time to tune into your body. And coming back to a neutral spine. Shoulders stacked over hands. Draw your navel to your spine. Tuck your toes and send your hips to the sky. Reach your heels towards the back of the mat. Open through the back of the shoulders and allow your head and neck to rest for downward facing dog. You can pedal out through the feet. Bend your knees as much as you need. Feel into your body and into this pose. Coming into stillness, let's take a breath here. Inhale your left leg to the sky. And as you exhale, step it forward on the outside of the left hand. You have the option here to lower the right knee or keep it lifted. Staying here for a lizard pose, extending through the right leg, stretching through the right hip flexor. You have an option to roll to the outer edge of the left foot. You can have your knee lowered here if you want to practice this. Micro bend in the elbows if you hyperextend, and allow your heart to thread through the window of your arms here. Draw your belly button in. Coming back to your breath. If you feel like you want to come onto your forearms, you can go ahead and work with a variation that works for you in this practice. And then rolling back to the flat bottom of your foot, tucking that right toe, shifting the weight and stepping the right foot forward to meet the left, or not. We're still staying a wide leg, not meeting our feet at the center, coming in to a Malasana squat. An option for a block is to put the block right underneath our sits bones. Lengthen through the crown, extending the crown towards the ceiling, using your elbows to press the knees away from one another. And pressing your hands into the mat, lift your hips. Heel toe your feet together and find a forward fold, hinging at the hips, bending your knees as much as you need. You can let your head hang here, grab opposite elbows, release your head and neck and shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Finding movement in your cervical spine, seeing what feels good for you. And then planting your hands, step back to a plank. Drawing your navel to your spine here, holding for a breath. And then sending our hips back for a downward facing dog. Noticing any sensations, any shift in your sensations or feelings since your first down dog from now. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, step it forward to the outside of that right foot, or inside of the right foot. Here the option is to lower the left knee or keep it extended. And roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, sink it low into that right hip flexor. Present your heart through the window of the arms and look forward. We can stay extended here, or we can lower our left knee to the earth. Another option is to come down into the forearms and allow that right knee to open up. Choosing the variation that works best for you today. Checking into your sensations, the feelings. What is your body asking for? And walking onto the flat part of the bottom of the foot, tucking that left toe and step it forward for the Malasana squat. Lowering your hands to the ground, lifting your hips to the sky, heel toe your feet together. Find your forward fold. We're going to roll up to standing one vertebrae at a time here. Keeping your chin tucked to your chest and roll up slowly. Coming to standing and allow your head to come up, crown reaches towards the ceiling. Find a weight shifted on the four corners of your feet, looking down, making sure our feet are about a hip distance apart. If you'd like to come a little bit closer with your stance, if that feels good for you, go ahead and honor that. Just rolling back and forth, getting acquainted with the feet on the earth, bare feet on the ground, massaging out the arches, rolling onto your toes, certain spots of the feet, noticing any difference or similarities and sensations, just feeling your feet. Finding stillness. Energetically lift your knees, find a micro bend in your knees, draw your navel to your spine and lift through your pelvic floor. Lengthen through the back of the body. Inhale, arms up. Gaze goes with your hands towards the ceiling. Slight back bend. And as we exhale, cactus the arms open. Beautiful. Knit your ribs together. Feel your navel draw to your spine. Not that we're splaying out the bottom of our rib cage. Feeling strong in our stance. I am grounded. I am supported. On your next inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And exhale, palms face the earth as we lower the hands to the ground. Inhale, palms face up. Reaching your arms to the sky. And exhale, open the hands. Finding a flow. Feeling the energy that moves with your fingers in this movement. Flowing with your breath. Two more. And as you exhale this time, forward fold. Inhale, present your heart. You can have your hands on your shins or on the earth. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step your feet back into a high plank. Shift your weight forward. Ground into the four corners of your hands. Taking an inhale, and as you exhale, you can lower your knees to the earth or find your chaturanga. If you're down on the earth, lift up slightly through your chest for a cobra or take a variation in up dog like me. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. And open through the left side body. Stack the hips if you like, otherwise stay in your downward dog. Send your right heel farther back. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lower the left leg down. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hips. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lower down. Walk your knees to the earth as wide as the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Send your hips back. Cradled. Your glutes are cradled by your heels. Walk your arms out in front of you and bring your third eye to the mat. Keeping your arms active here. Broadening through the back of the body. On your next inhale, pressing up through your forearms. Walk your knees about hip distance apart. You can walk your hands towards the front of the mat. We're going to bring our chest to the ground for puppy pose. You can bring your third eye or your chin to the mat, seeing what feels right for you today. And inhaling, pressing up. Walking up onto our hands, tucking our toes. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, bend that right knee and bring it behind your right elbow. Hold here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to that elbow. Inhale, lift. And exhale, this time bringing the knee to the earth behind the right palm. Let that left leg slide back. Coming for a pigeon pose. An option is to stay here at king pigeon. We can have blocks underneath our hands. Take a look back at your left toe and make sure it's pointed straight. Another option for pigeon is to walk forward, walking our hands to the earth. We can stay on our forearms, or we can create a pillow for our face to rest, resting the forehead on the hands. If you would like some extra support, you could place an object, not a block probably, it's not, depending on your body, but if you have a rolled up blanket, you can provide yourself with some extra support underneath your hips here. And breathing into the sensations that arise in this pose. Bringing awareness to any emotions that might come up. And then gently walking yourself up, pressing up through hands. Hands in front of that right knee, about that level on the mat. Tuck your left toes, lifting through the left leg and send that right leg back to the sky. Exhale back to downward dog. Take a moment here. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it towards the left elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee behind left hand. Slide the right foot back. Either coming into your king cobra, presenting the heart, lengthen through the crown. Making sure your back toe is pointed towards the back of the room. And coming onto your forearms or your variation, Taking note of any differences in sensation on the left side versus the right. Allow yourself to breathe here. Becoming active, walking ourselves back onto our hands, tucking the right toe and sending the left foot back to the sky. And coming back to your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to stretch to the hamstrings. And looking forward. Sitting back onto our sits bones. Walking tall on our sits bones, roll our shoulders down and away. We can lift our toes off the earth and coming in for a boat pose. Another option is to leave our toes on the earth. Either way, pull your navel to spine, open through the heart, lengthen through the neck, gaze is soft. Not dumping in the back. And hugging your hamstrings to your chest and then rolling onto the back of the body. Walk your heels towards your glutes, press your hands into the mat and lift your hips towards the ceiling. Energetically squeeze the inner thighs together as we lift our glutes. On our next inhale, squeeze even higher. As we exhale, lower down to the earth. Hug your knees into your chest, rock back and forth. Walk the arms inside the legs, grab the outside of the feet, find a happy baby. You can extend one leg at a time if you like. Rocking side to side, being playful and active. Or finding stillness. Breathing into the sensations in the hips. Bring awareness to your spine on the earth. Release. Grabbing the knees, lower the right leg to the earth. Clasping the outside of the left knee and just open the left knee to the outside of the left rib cage. back to center, hugging the right knee in and lowering the left leg. Same thing on the right side, open the right hip, walk the leg on the outside of the right rib cage. Breathing into the sensations. Coming back to center on an inhale, exhale, straighten the right leg. Preparing for our final resting pose of Shavasana. Allow our feet to fall open. Walk the shoulders underneath us. If you like, you can bring the bottoms of your feet together in a reclined butterfly. Otherwise, stay in a corpse pose, palms facing up or down, shoulders open. Presenting your chest, neck is long. Eyes are either closed or softly gazing off the tip of your nose. Allow your breath to be normal. Not much effort in anything. Release the tension between your eyebrows. Release any tension of the jaw. And breathe here for a few moments. And starting to breathe awareness back into your body. Feeling here physically on your mat. You can make some subtle movements, wiggling your fingers and your toes. When you feel ready, bend your knees and hug your knees into your chest, taking a moment before rolling on to one side, meeting yourself in a fetal position. And from here, working your way up, joining me in a seated position. However you feel comfortable, joining me for hands and heart center. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open here. I just wanted to acknowledge you for showing up today for yourself, meeting yourself in this physical practice of yoga. The light in me honors the light in you, and I bow my thinking head to my feeling heart, meeting you in a namaste. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.